Today I fucked up by letting my wife near my butt. The male community is pretty split on the forest versus clearing debate when it comes to bums. I happen to like a well-manicured booty. Normally, I use a trimmer with no guard because it's fast and trying to maneuver a razor back there is far too risky. I do this every couple of weeks or so. The downside to this method is that it doesn't get super close and leaves a little butt stubble. I was lamenting this fact to my wife when she lit up and offered up a genius solution. "You should let me near your butt," said she, with a gleam in her eyes. "It's easier than a trimmer and it will make your butt super smooth." "Well, okay," says I. Elated, she runs to grab the tube, sits down face level with my butt and goes to town with a little more fervor than you would expect for someone tasked with rubbing cream on a hairy man butt. Marriage is strange. A few minutes later, I wash it off in the shower and we gush over how baby smooth things are down there. I mean, a baby dolphin would be jealous of this thing. It was like silk and rubber got together for a night of sweet love and produced an offspring. I finally understood what that Santra song was about. All was good in the world. Or so I thought. The next day I noticed some slight itchiness, but I figured it would pass, so I just tried to ignore it and focused on not scratching it as best as I could. Later that night, my wife and I got undressed and got in the shower together. We were having an unrelated conversation, when I remembered the itchiness I had been feeling throughout the day and told her about it. "Well, turn around so I can take a look." So I turned around, stuck it out, and awaited her analysis. Dead silence. I turned back around to find her with her hands over her mouth trying her hardest to hold in a laugh. I craned my neck and twisted my body to try to get a view myself, and I was met with a horrifying sight. Like a thief in the night, someone had stolen the silky smooth booty that was there just mere hours before and replaced it with one that was covered in huge, bright red bumps. Unable to contain it any longer, my wife busted out laughing, while I jumped out of the shower to inspect it closer in the mirror. Overnight, it had gone from glorious, shimmering dolphin fin to 14-year-old getting slapped in the face by puberty. My wife maintains the hypothesis that it was an allergic reaction to the hotel soap, possibly somehow exacerbated by the Nair, as I did get a few small bumps on other parts of my body, but nothing like the war zone that my backside now looks like. I maintain that it was sabotage because she was jealous and wanted to have the only smooth bum in the house. Moral of the story: never challenge a woman's rightful status of smoothest booty. Too long didn't read. I let my wife near my butt and now it looks like Freddy Krueger face fucked a topographical map of Utah. So was it just an allergic reaction, and can I possibly do this to my backside, or is this a never do this kinda situation? Best thing to do is use a little first and check back in 24 hours to make sure you don't have a bad reaction. I shave most of my husband's backside from knees to neck every couple weeks. Marriage is a strange beast. Edit to say with trimmers, no guard. For those asking, I hook him up with a nice fade on his upper thighs, no hair socks. I need a wife. This could have gone so much worse. I had to drive my partner to the ER with second-degree chemical burns on his junk, from using Nair. 2/10 do not recommend. He was in the bathroom doing his thing with some Nair, and I was cooking dinner or something. He screams out from the bathroom, "Hey, clumsy, is it supposed to feel like this?" He didn't sound overly concerned or anything, so I ask him what it feels like. He can't describe it to me. I tell him if it is even anything remotely like pain he needs to get it off right now. Guy decides, nah, it's not that bad, and keeps it on for another 5 minutes. When he finally did go to rinse everything off, several layers of skin went, too. We didn't have enough gauze to cover the area, and couldn't stop the bleeding right away, so I helped him get into the loosest pair of sweatpants I could find and had to practically drag him down the stairs to the car. Loaded him in the back seat, apologized like fuck every time I hit a bump, and he whimpered. It was awful. Thankfully, he had no permanent scarring or loss of function, although I was certain that was going to occur. He spent the next week splayed out in a computer chair with no pants on, had to call off work and everything. I think it took about 2 months for him to be able to walk in clothes without pain. TL, doctor, keep chemicals off your balls. Semi-related question, when does a booty become a bootay and is it related to smoothness? My uninformed impression is that it is finding the proper ratio of smoothness to size. Thank you for this. Today I fucked up by blowing my man too enthusiastically, NSFW. This happened the past night, technically already today. We were having some adult fun with the boyfriend. It was also after a couple of drinks, so we were going at it pretty rough. So here I am, on my knees, giving him a blowjob, putting my back into it when all of a sudden I hear a very loud pop immediately followed by one of the worst pain I ever felt. It felt as if someone stabbed me in the face with a screwdriver. Thanks to my godlike reflexes I was able to yank my head away from the one-eyed yogurt slinger before my teeth snapped together, and with that momentum I also managed to slam my head into the nearest wall. I was already in tears from the shock of the sudden pain when I realized I can't move my jaw. I started to panic and just kept repeating, I can't open my mouth. I can't open my mouth. We tried to pry it open while under hot water, thinking it was a muscle cramp, but that shortly, with some pain I can't even start to describe, revealed that it indeed was not just some stiff muscle. Yup, I managed to dislocate my jaw while giving a blowjob. In a futile attempt to snap it back where it belongs, I tried punching myself in the face on the opposite side, tried pushing it, pulling it with all my might, but none of that seemed to work. At the end, after many tears and pain and panicked running in circles, I took a painkiller and wrapped myself in a blanket to think through my options. I ended up falling asleep like that for a few hours. When I woke again, with the pain a bit duller and my mind a bit clearer, I finally managed to pop my jaw back where it belongs, but the pain is still very bad and I can't open my mouth more than to fit a teaspoon, neither can I close it completely. It being Sunday, only emergency trauma care is accessible in the hospital and it is insanely crowded, so I decided to wait till tomorrow to seek medical attention. So here I am now, popping painkillers and eating my dinner with a straw, having absolutely no idea what I am going to say to the doctor or how do I explain to my boss why I need a day off in such short notice. TL, doctor, I went for a blowjob, ended up like the T-Rex after King Kong was done with it. Edit/update, first of all. Holy SH, this blew up. I'm glad I could make so many of you chuckle. Also, I've read the comments, thanks for the laughs, it hurt. To answer a couple topics I found in the comments, sadly, nobody came that day. What was boyfriend doing? Well, he tried to call an ambulance after he realized we are not equipped to fix the issue. Problem is, my country is not very big on English, and my boyfriend doesn't speak the local language. First operator hang up on him when realized he is trying to communicate in English, second operator got stuck on not understanding the address code in English. I then insisted to FK that, it'll be fine. I am not from the US, just very stupid. Healthcare is included in taxes but did not rush to the ER, because they are understaffed, underpaid and overworked, and I was not bleeding, seriously disabled or in mortal danger, neither did I think a dislocated jaw is serious enough to require immediate care, so reading your horror stories and warnings made me concerned. After a brief 4 hours spent at the clinic, I was called into a large room where 5 dentists were working on 5 different patients with not as much as a curtain separating them, so the place was loud enough that the doctor did not ask questions because I was not able to answer loud enough. He instructed me to grip the chair tight because it will hurt, pushed my jaw backwards and wiggled it to its place. Showed me how to stretch the muscles, gave me his number and sent me off. Hopefully it will heal alright and I can go back to finish what I was doing originally. Oh, and bless those who noticed the username. I did make this account to post this story. Wasn't sure how it would look on my main. You don't need to make up a story with the doctor. It happens more often than you think. Happened to a friend of mine a few months ago, hers snapped right back in though. And I know from knee and ankle dislocations that it's best to go in immediately as it's still very unstable after a recent dislocation, especially if it was sitting out for an extended period. Just tell them you yawned, and it dislocated. Happens to more people than you know. Good luck. Now I'm scared for life. Again. Thanks. Thanks for the laugh, but honestly you should go today. You can cause long-term damage the longer you wait. You should have gone last night. Your effort does not go unnoticed. Dental hygienist here. You really should see a dentist, just in case. If you decide not to go that route, you need to treat your jaw like any other injury. OTC counter anti-inflammatories, ice on and off for 20 minutes, rest. You need to eat soft foods for a while. No gum, no hard foods, nothing that you have to open really wide for, and no blowjobs, smile. You might be prone to this again because of what happened. There is a technique to put your jaw in place, but if you can't do it, any dentist can and will. Edit my recommendations are temporary, in case anyone was concerned that no blowjobs meant forever. Today I fucked up by calling my girlfriend a thot. This happened yesterday, but anyways, here goes. Yesterday, there was a Magic the Gathering tournament at my local hobby shop. My girlfriend decided to tag along and come support me. I ended up doing pretty poorly, 1-3, but the hobby shop gave out a consolation prize of a random foiled uncommon card. The card that I received was called Thought Erasure, and immediately held the card up to my girlfriend and said, "And I cast Thought Erasure, be gone Thot." As a joke, but said it pretty loudly. The shop is pretty small and a lot of people caught wind of my act, and needless to say my girlfriend was very embarrassed. We're home now and she still hasn't spoken to me. I'm fucked, boys. TL, doctor, casted Thought Erasure on my girlfriend and now I'm afraid it may have worked. Update, girlfriend broke up with me. Frown? Stop being assholes. That is all. I hate to use this cliche, but what if the girlfriend was just a figment of Op's imagination and him using Thought Erasure is him getting rid of said girlfriend and coming to grips with reality? Update, girlfriend broke up with me. So the spell worked. I'm afraid it worked. Oh no. You are far from fucked anytime soon, I would say.